This presentation will include strategies to help pre-retirees in their 50s and 60s prepare for their retirement. And to start with, let's think about the typical person in this age bracket. Pre-retirees in their 50s and 60s are a unique group with some common characteristics. The saying has become a cliche, but people in their 50s and 60s truly are the sandwich generation, pulled in all directions financially, emotionally, and even physically. At the same time, work is a priority, and usually these are the peak earning years with which to fund retirement and pay down debt. Along with aging often come health issues that can impact your financial security and affect the quality of life during retirement years. Retirement is on the horizon, and there are only so many years to save. This is the big picture of personal savings for all ages according to the Employee Benefit Research Institute. This chart reflects the total savings and investments for individuals in 4 specific age groups. Let's take a look at people 55 years of age and older. While you do see almost a quarter of pre-retirees have saved more than $250,000, also note that nearly half of this age group have less than $50,000 in savings. Surprisingly, when workers are asked how much they need in retirement, few have even attempted to calculate their expenses. Clearly, there's a need for financial education concerning retirement risks and the best strategies for securing your retirement. When planning for retirement, there are a number of risks to consider. Longevity risk is the possibility that a person will outlive his or her retirement savings. The risk of retirees outliving their portfolio is of special concern to individuals taking early retirement and for those who have a family history of longevity. For a couple age 65, there is a 25% chance that one of them will live to age 96. That means 30 years in retirement. Accounting for longevity risk in retirement planning is more important than ever because people today are living significantly longer than prior generations. The average annual inflation rate from 1926 through 2008 was 3%. Investors often do not understand the damage inflation can do over long periods of time to their spending power. Inflation erodes the value of savings. $100,000 of income today will be worth less than $86,000 of value in as little as 5 years. And over the course of a 30-year retirement, the purchasing power of that same $100,000 will be reduced by 60%. To make matters worse, medical expenses, which can be a major expense for retirees, are rising much faster than the average inflation rate. Investors planning for retirement would be wise to plan for an inflation rate higher than 3%. Market volatility can also pose a risk. If the market drops or corrections occur early during retirement, the portfolio may not be able to cushion the added stress of systematic withdrawals. This may lead to the portfolio being unable to provide the necessary income for the desired lifestyle, or the portfolio may simply run out of money too soon. Spending too much and taking on too much debt can put your retirement at risk also. Being able to distinguish between an essential expense like mortgage, utilities, food, and medical bills, and lifestyle choices, like taking a cruise or buying a new car, can help you budget your dollars better. Most people simply aren't saving enough for retirement and have put their retirement nest egg at risk. Underfunding your defined contribution account can leave you short on retirement income. It's wise to have additional investments like IRAs, savings accounts, and maybe an investment account. And one big risk is never calculating the amount you'll need in retirement. And to do that, you need to have clear retirement goals in mind. Another common mistake is overestimating the amount of income you can realistically expect from an account. Withdrawing 4 to 5% annually would be a prudent approach, especially during the early retirement years. And don't forget, most of your retirement income is taxable. Let's take a look at the various sources of income during retirement. Keep in mind everyone's sources of retirement income will look different. Here's a snapshot of the average retiree. The typical retiree received less than 40% of their retirement income from Social Security and had to rely on the remaining 60% coming from other sources. Almost a third continued working after retirement. Hopefully you'll have various income sources because Social Security replaces only a small portion of your income. For example, an individual who retired at 66 in 2010 and had an income of $40,000 could expect to receive only $14,304, or just under $1,200 a month from Social Security. That's a serious pay cut for anyone relying solely on Social Security to fund their retirement. Most people will want to maintain the same standard of living during retirement as they had when they were working. Here are some planning strategies that will help you accomplish that goal. Focusing on these 3 major best practices should help. They're simple concepts, but can have profound effect on your golden years. First, take advantage of every opportunity to save. Second, manage and eliminate as much debt as possible. Third, think about what you want your retirement to look like. That's the big picture. Your retirement nest egg will be directly impacted by how much you save. You can't control the market or world events, but you do have power over how much you save and how it's invested. So don't miss any chance to add to your retirement savings. Contribute to your retirement plan and receive any possible matching dollars. Save a total of 15% of your compensation, including your company match or profit sharing. Then put additional dollars in IRAs, either traditional or Roth, and cash accounts for emergencies. Make sure you consider your risk tolerance and time horizon when choosing your asset allocation. Investing periodically over time can help you even out the risks. Personal investments and savings are becoming more important as those in their 50s and 60s prepare for retirement. Personal investments come in all shapes and sizes. Hopefully, when you retire, you'll have numerous types of investments from which to receive income. You'll need a cash account, retirement accounts such as IRAs, 401ks, and 403bs, and maybe even an additional income-producing asset like rental property or maybe farm income or other investments. These investments have different levels of risk and varying returns. A good portfolio provides asset allocation reflective of your risk tolerance and time horizon while providing adequate diversification. This chart illustrates the volatility of a 100% stock portfolio versus a 100% bond portfolio over the 25-year span from 1984 to 2009. While stocks have outperformed bonds, the volatility of a totally stock account can be dangerous during the distribution stage. But trying to stay ahead of inflation during retirement is a pretty difficult task with a portfolio that's invested 100% in bonds. You need to maximize your return while minimizing the risk by allocating your dollars to stocks and bonds. So what should you consider as a pre-retiree when deciding how to invest your dollars? Diversification is a very important consideration. After you decide upon an asset allocation that reflects your risk tolerance and time horizon, you need to diversify. Putting all your money in the class with the highest return will put your portfolio at risk. Let's take a look at the performance of international stock funds over the last 10 years, from 2001 to 2010. In 2001, international stocks were the worst performing asset class. And then from 2004 to 2007, when people were piling into international stocks, they were the best performing categories. But look what happened in 2008. International stocks sunk by 43%, and so would have your portfolio if you had followed the crowd. On a portfolio of $200,000, you would have seen it drop by $86,000, or close to half. Diversification is vital to your financial future and to building the nest egg you will need to secure your retirement. Along with saving for retirement, you need to do your best to eliminate debt. Here's another simple strategy. Keep your debt to a minimum. Pre-retirees are often absorbed in building the retirement assets and thinking about income the assets can provide, and that's great. But the other side of the equation is equally as important. What are your expenses? People often underestimate their health care costs, and those are often expenses we have little to no control over. As retirement looms on the horizon, it makes sense to remember that old adage, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, so take good care of yourself. Manage your debt and keep long-range debt to a minimum. Track your net worth, which are your assets minus your liabilities, and that will give you an overall picture of your financial health. So how important is it for you to control your debt? Even if you put away a credit card and don't make any additional charges, paying off a high-interest credit card can take years, and the interest you pay adds up to big bucks. The same is true of your house mortgage. Having your house paid off can essentially give you a raise in retirement income and save you money on mortgage interest too. Your lifestyle in retirement will depend on your ability to save for retirement and reduce your expenses. But there is more to retirement than just dollars and cents. Remember to look at the big picture. There are lots of moving parts, but don't let that stop you from planning for your retirement future. Think about the years you have to retirement and work a few more if that would make your golden years more secure. Use a calculator tool to estimate your financial situation and give some thought to what you want to be able to do in retirement and maybe where you want to live during retirement. These are all important aspects of the big picture of your retirement. There are lots of resources to help you as you navigate through your pre-retirement years. Listed are just a few resources you may want to use. Remember to talk to the specialists. They won't have all the answers, but they can serve as resources as you make long-ranging decisions. And don't be afraid to assess and reassess your situation. Things change, and your goals may need to adapt to reflect your current financial situation. Union Bank and Trust has numerous online retirement calculators available to help you when planning for retirement. Planning for retirement is an ongoing process. You'll need to reassess your process at least annually and adjust as goals and situations change. Look at the big picture. How do you want your retirement to look? Manage risks. Are you taking care of your financial health by using credit wisely? Prioritize your financial commitments. Do you have retirement as one of your primary goals and fully fund your retirement? Are you currently receiving the full company match and putting money into additional retirement accounts? Keep your eye on the ball. When preparing for retirement, there's a lot to think about. But if you focus in on reducing debt, saving, and planning for your life in retirement, your retirement may truly turn out to be your golden years after all. This concludes our presentation on preparing for retirement. If you have any questions, feel free to contact any member of our financial education team. Thank you for joining us today.